Hello and welcome back to the channel. This video is all about how to organize your baking area, your baking cupboard, your baking drawer, your baking goods basically. I'm gonna walk you through how I organize all of my things. It's not perfect because, well, it's just something that is continually evolving as I bake and use these supplies and figure out new systems to make that more productive. But hopefully this can be helpful to you if you are wondering how to organize your baking area. So let's get into it. Now every person's baking area is going to be different. This is mine. I'm going to give you a close-up of what it currently looks like. So you can see I've got lots of bags of sugar, vanilla, in fact 2 things of vanilla, one right here and one right there. Baking soda, baking powder, stuff in the back I can't even see, and I bet you there's even some cans up here. Yeah, got some cans of condensed milk, pumpkin puree, old oats, which I haven't used wow, forever. That's the expiry date on there. I know that doesn't really matter for baked goods all that much, but I don't even know if I'm ever gonna use that. Lots of things in here that I can't even see, so let's get that organized. At least I like to be able to have a peek in the front and get a grip on what's in the back at least. So the first thing I'm doing is identifying how much I have, how much room I need, and then I want to dedicate a space in this kitchen where I can fit all of these things easily. I may not be able to see everything from the front as easily, but at least everything will fit in a kind of organized manner. Now keep in mind this is also stuff that you're not using every single day, and so even if it is a bit harder to get to, like this one's in our island down low here, I don't really come in here all that much, and so that's alright. For that time I can bend the knee, get down, and search this cabinet for what I need. The other thing that I have done is to find alternative places to put things that I really use off. So my pans and my baking sheets and my giant mixing bowls are stored somewhere else, as well as my flour. So let me show you where that is stored first, and then we'll get into this cupboard. We have this bookshelf here in our living room, and I store my flour right up there in that big basket, and it's very easy. When I need my flour, I just pull down my basket, scoop the flour right out of it, and it just goes back up right up there. Now I do keep these 2 things of flour that's a bit smaller. One is white, one is whole wheat. I keep these close by in the baking drawer normally, so they're easy for reach if I'm just feeding my sourdough or doing a quick little batch. I can scoop directly from that instead of having to get the basket. So I've got a quick system here, but then I also have my bigger system handy, nice and close to pull down and use, refill often. Above our fridge, I keep my pans and mixing bowl right up there. There are some of my cookie sheets, cookie dryer, racks, the mixing bowl, and then some of the tin. I store my pans in a separate spot than my actual baking drawer down here. What I really like about this system is that I can very easily reach whatever I need. Or at least slide something out that I need. So this area is pretty organized. I just want to, I've got a lot of, what do you call these, placemats that we rarely use. That maybe I can store somewhere else. This guy's empty. It's got some older rusks in it. It's gotta get cleaned. Keep the pan liners up here as well. And this has been a handy spot, but we haven't actually used very many of these, so I'll pack these away in a closet and just leave these guys up here. Well, these need a washing, that's why they were folded up like that. So keep a tray here. Here are those sheets. Cookie racks. And a pizza stone. So I can very easily just pull one out and put it back. I like that a lot. So I'm gonna I just roll these up with some elastic bands and store them up here. Then they're out of the way but easy to reach. Perfect. And then I'm using the large mixing bowl over here, but the rest kind of hang out up here. So I usually start by unloading everything in here just so I can get my eyes on what I all have. So I'm gonna do that first. His baking powder has totally puffed up. I'll have to ask my husband what that's all about. This is all I have. Lots of cacao. Got 2 bags and then another bag here. 2 bags of pumpkin seeds. 2 bags of coconut unsweetened. Now I've got this big box of baking soda and I found 2 more. Woo. 2 cans of sweetened condensed milk and some evaporated milk. Woo. Now I've got this large bag of sugar and I've got another one around the corner. I've also got some powdered sugar and some more powdered sugar. I was looking for that the other day and I clearly couldn't find it because this thing was just way too unorganized. Got some dark brown sugar, golden sugar, and little odd packs of golden and dark brown sugar, xylitol, and then coconut sugar over here and coconut flour, some flax. Got a bag of baking powder that I gotta figure out why that's puffing up like that, which is great to have because this is almost empty. And I keep these 2 spices here too, allspice and nutmeg, just because I primarily use that for baking, not for cooking. Little odds and ends of chalk chips, white and unsweetened, dark chocolate, Crisco, I don't know why I have that, some things to make cupcakes with, and I kept a lot of this rice syrup here while I was making toffees over Christmas. Lots of Pomona's pectin, which is good to have on hand for the summer because we'll be making a lot of fruit leather. If you don't know how to make that with Pomona's pectin, you can basically use any fruit in the summer and turn it into fruit leather, or what do you call it, dried fruit rolls. So easy to make with this. I'll leave a recipe down below if you're interested, but happy to have lots of that on hand. This is just a mixture of cinnamon and sugar, which we put on our pancakes. Lots of molasses, in fact 2 jars. More chocolate, vanilla, and then I seem to have kept this old artificial vanilla. It literally says artificial vanilla. Why do we use this stuff? So am I gonna get rid of this? I have, in the meantime, bought some real vanilla, which is pricey, but come on, why would we do artificial? Pumpkin puree, 2 cans of that. Love pumpkin pie, and then some cream of tartar. Nuts, more powdered sugar, which you can never have enough of. All right, let's get everything packed in, but first let's clean this cupboard. Alright, let me final baking cabinet. So over here I have 2 cans of brown rice syrup. I've got the full one at the bottom and the emptier one at the top to use up. And I can see I got 2 of that, so I don't have to buy any. Right behind it I've got the Crisco, which I can kind of see the label of in the front, so it's not hidden for me, and I can see my cupcake liners. Now back here, you can't see it, I'll have to turn up the thing, but I can kind of see the tops of those bags. And I know if I pull this out, I can quickly see that that is coconut flour and coconut sugar. So it's not all that hidden. That is flaxseed, which I can tell by the top of this label. And then I just stored that little jar of cinnamon sugar right there. So not hidden for me. 2 bags of coconut sugar here. I've got one in the back and one in the front, so they're together. I know I have double of that. I can see the nuts with my eyes in the front here, so those aren't hidden. And then I can also see the pumpkin seed bag right there, the green and orange, I know. And I've got a fuller bag at the bottom and the smaller one at the top. So if I reach in my hand, I'll automatically grab the smaller one with the leftovers and see that there's another bag underneath. Now in front here, I can very plainly see I've got my molasses, which if I pull this out, I'll be able to see another one back there, very easy. Same with the baking soda, I can see there's more back there. They follow each other. Just the evaporated milk in front of the coconut here. I can see I've got some condensed milk, the name is visible to me in the front here, and if I pull this up, I can see another jar down there, so I know I got double of that. Here's those 2 spices I was telling you that I use often. Vanilla right up front, and then 2 cans of pumpkin puree. Very easy, not hidden for me. This is very obvious up front here, the cream of tartar, custard powder, and then a bunch of cocoa powder all stacked on top of each other. So all together, I know I have lots. Now my solution for down here is just pretty open. I've got the flour, things that I reach for often, which I told you about, the baking soda, and then a bunch of chocolate sugary things here. What's nice about this setup is that if I pull this baking soda out, I know I've got backups there. I can easily spot my sugar back there, and so I just need to move this to pull out that bag and refill my sugar, which we keep in a different cabinet by the coffee stuff. Over here I've got a bunch of chocolate and sugar varieties, xylitol, dark brown sugar, or I think that's golden sugar, and then powdered sugar in the back. So I can just, if I'm looking for sugar stuff, I'll just come to this section here and find a bunch of sugar. Now there is room back there. If I get a variety of different kinds of flours, I could still store those on top of it. But just like with the rest of the cabinets that I've organized, the goal always is to somehow be able to see the things that are in the back, which is so hard. We can't see the things in the back. And so having this system where everything is kind of organized in a manner where the duplicates are together and I can sort of spot everything from the front will be very helpful to make sure that I make good use of this cabinet and of my things that I already have. And now we are ready to bake whenever the time allows. Well, thank you for hanging out with me while I reorganize all of my baking items and supplies. I hope that this video has been helpful to you and that you also are now inspired to go and organize your baking area, and that you've got some tips and tricks, or at least ideas of how you can better make use of your area. If you found this helpful, would you consider subscribing to this channel and liking this video? I've made some other organizational videos of our kitchen here recently, and so maybe you can get some other tips and tricks there. Yeah, and catch up with our upcoming content. We'd love to have you support our channel. Alright, see ya. Bye.